Greetings. We are here to present some insights from this paper titled Post-Growth Agri-Food Systems Towards an Emancipatory Politics. Rishabh, Kachroo and I, Rajeswari, Raina, authors of this paper, are with the Department of International Relations and Governance Studies at Shiv Narayan University in India. Our paper does two things. First, it builds bridges between the economics and politics of degrowth and international relations scholarship. It demonstrates how critical international relations theory questions the structural underpinnings of persistent problems like hunger and provides opportunities for an emancipatory politics where we can revisit given theories in socially and politically accepted frameworks. Second, it presents the institutionalization of modern agri-food systems in a growth-hegemonic framing backed by a denationalized decision-making that makes the structural injustice of hunger invisible. We argue that critical IR theory, critical international relations theory, dovetails with the principles of post-growth thinking to learn from local agroecological alternatives, which foregrounds caring, sharing, ecological and democratic values. Empowered with a new moral capital, this privileges the epistemological and ontological concerns previously under-examined. Methodologically, we used critical international relations theory to ask why, despite evidence of post-growth thinking in the global south, especially in India, we've been so complicit in accepting economic growth as a fundamental feature of the economic order, of the global economic order. We refer to international relations scholarship that shows how the international creation and institutionalization of structural power, for instance, the frameworks of national food security, international agriculture development, the asymmetric rules of international trade, all these are the prevalent institutional arrangements, and these are the drivers of food insecurity. Our paper problematizes the theorization of agriculture in the mid-20th century in growth-centric mainstream development economics, where agriculture is a sector that makes product, market, and factor contributions to the economy. Theoretically, as growth and development happen, agriculture is foreordained to shrink in its share in the national economy or in GDP and in its share in the national workforce. Unlike problem-solving theory, which prescribes solutions within the given framework, critical theory questions the structural, institutional, and political roots of hunger that are embedded in growth-hegemonic thinking. Critical international relations theory helps us see how theories arise within normative frameworks and how they reveal interests, commitments, and values. We present the institutional arrangements and power dynamics involved in the internationalization of agricultural knowledge, production technologies, food policy, and the consolidation of agribusinesses that sustain the highly financialized global agro-industrial complex. These interlocking structures, we argue, make the nation-state a weak actor in addressing hunger. The paper discusses how policy harmonization across nation-states and these interlocking structures converge to prioritize economic growth over food security.
Contrary to this structural injustice that maintains hunger in a highly financialized agro-industrial complex with adequate food availability, hundreds of local agroecological systems located in post-growth framing avoid this structural injustice. Examples include the agroecological transformations in Latin America and the decentralized rain-fed mountain or coastal agri-food systems in India. These are outside the mainstream, heavily subsidized, irrigated, chemical-intensive production systems supported by the state. They share the post-growth principles of sufficiency, communal care, eco-restoration, and distribution. For instance, the post-growth principle of sufficiency addresses limits to production without externalizing social and environmental costs. These local knowledge-based agroecological alternatives do not need the framing and ideational validation of economic growth. They are able to feed the local populations with the right amounts and nature of foods that are important for a healthy and culturally defined good life. They seem to enact genuinely transformative change, though in niche agroecosystems. Contradicting the universal theorization of agriculture's role in economic growth, there is a pluriverse of values, functions, roles, and meanings of agriculture as it produces and interacts with the interlocking structures of finance, trade, and food security within a post-growth framing. Our paper shows that strengthening social justice and the right to self-determination that ensures a good life for all is central to post-growth thinking and the emancipatory politics endorsed by critical international relations theory. We also find that these post-growth agroecological systems confront new knowledge policy battles. These are about decentralized, just, and democratic knowledge politics. State support for local organic or agroecological transitions focus on existing knowledge and policy systems. We point out that investments in better production practices and upscaling lessons from the field level agroecological systems are necessary and welcome. But these investments are inadequate. New kinds of investments are needed in knowledge production about the non-agricultural drivers influencing these alternatives and learning systems that build on the pluralistic social-ecological knowledge in the field. In critical international relations theory, this knowledge informing decisions and practices, whether in niche agrarian alternatives or in transnational agrarian movements, is central to the emancipatory counter-hegemonic forces. This knowledge has normative goals not of growth but of sustainability and diversity, which is world systemic, just, and class sensitive, and aligns with the post-growth agenda. Hunger prevails because of the structures driving decisions and actions in the global economy. Our paper shows that a new world order is possible, one that battles the historically conditioned understanding, theorization, and legitimization of hunger in the prevalent growth-obsessed world order. Once the actors working to replace the unsustainable and unjust global agri-food systems are identified, critical international relations theory shows pathways of political engagements for these actors to establish cosmopolitan structures of global governance that are empowered with a new moral capital. Post-growth thinking that emphasizes the good life and justice is an ally of politically and ethically informed IR. Thank you.